The ocean whispers where the world seems endless, and time drifts like waves upon the shore. Beneath the surface lies a kingdom untouched by mortal hands, glowing with eternal light. Here rules Poseidon, the ocean king, whose presence is as vast as the waters themselves. His throne is not of gold or stone, but of tides, currents, and the endless song of the sea. Legends call him a god, but his essence is deeper, a spirit of balance and unyielding flow. He is the keeper of storms and silence, the guardian of mysteries hidden in the abyss. To sailors, he is both hope and warning, guiding their journeys with unseen hands. To islands and shores, he is the shaper, the one who breathes life into new lands. Every ripple, every wave, carries the echo of his eternal watch. This is not the tale of battles, nor of conquest, but of harmony and eternal rhythm. It is the story of Poseidon, timeless, flowing, vast, and eternal, as the ocean he rules. Close your eyes, listen to the waves, and step with me into the realm of the Ocean King. In the beginning, before the waves touched the shore, the sea held secrets deeper than time itself. Poseidon was born into this world of mystery, a child of the Titans, destined for the realm of waters. He was not born into silence, but into the song of the ocean, endless and unbroken across eternity. From the first breath, he was tied to the rhythm of tides, the eternal pulse of the living sea. The ocean accepted him, shaping his spirit as currents shape the sand, steady and unyielding. The young god was not of land nor sky, but of depths unseen, where light and shadow embrace. His eyes reflected the horizon, carrying both calm seas and storms waiting to be born. The cradle of his youth was not a palace, but the ocean itself, wide, unending, eternal. He listened to waves strike rocks, learning patience, strength, and the wisdom of flow. He felt the pull of the moon through tides, discovering balance between stillness and motion. Every ripple whispered his name, reminding him that he belonged not to earth, but to water. The sea became his teacher, guiding him to embrace both calm and tempest as one. In those early days, Poseidon learned that power was not fury, but balance in motion. He watched dolphins leap in joy, whales sing in depth, and coral glow with gentle light. He understood life was born in water, nurtured by waves, and returned to the sea in time. His heart carried the vastness of the ocean, endless yet intimate, fierce yet kind. When the other Olympians found their realms, Poseidon did not hesitate to claim the sea. The ocean was not conquered, but chosen, a bond older than memory, deeper than fate. The trident was placed in his hand, shining like lightning forged into the shape of water. It was not a weapon of war, but a symbol of rule, of harmony, of endless flow. With it, he guided tides, shaped currents, and wove storms into patterns of renewal. The trident marked him not as destroyer, but as guardian of oceans unmeasured. His rule was not built on walls or armies, but on trust between waves and the unseen depths. Every creature beneath the surface bowed not from fear, but from shared rhythm of life. Poseidon's birth was not the start of war, but the dawn of stewardship of the sea. He was the voice of storms, the calm after thunder, and the stillness before the tide. His throne rose not in the sky, but beneath waves, where coral and pearls shone like stars. The kingdom of the ocean welcomed him, a realm without borders, eternal in its breath. Poseidon's birth story is not of conquest, but of belonging, the sea embracing its king. He was a god, yet also a student of the ocean, learning the secrets hidden in silence. The waves shaped him into a guardian, not by force, but by wisdom of eternal flow. He grew as the ocean grew, changing yet unchanging, vast yet near to every shore. Poseidon's legacy began not with thunder, but with the quiet promise of the sea. A promise that the waters would always remember him, as long as tides touched the land. This is the first chapter of his eternal journey, the birth of the Ocean King. In the beginning, before the waves touched the shore, the sea held secrets deeper than time itself. Poseidon was born into this world of mystery, a child of the Titans, destined for the realm of waters. He was not born into silence, but into the song of the ocean, endless and unbroken across eternity. From the first breath, he was tied to the rhythm of tides, the eternal pulse of the living sea. The ocean accepted him, shaping his spirit as currents shape the sand, steady and unyielding. The young god was not of land nor sky, but of depths unseen, where light and shadow embrace. His eyes reflected the horizon, carrying both calm seas and storms waiting to be born. The cradle of his youth was not a palace, but the ocean itself, wide, unending, eternal. He listened to waves strike rocks, learning patience, strength, and the wisdom of flow. He felt the pull of the moon through tides, discovering balance between stillness and motion. Every ripple whispered his name, reminding him that he belonged not to earth, but to water. The sea became his teacher, guiding him to embrace both calm and tempest as one. In those early days, Poseidon learned that power was not fury, but balance in motion. He watched dolphins leap in joy, whales sing in depth, and coral glow with gentle light. He understood life was born in water, nurtured by waves, and returned to the sea in time. His heart carried the vastness of the ocean, endless yet intimate, fierce yet kind. When the other Olympians found their realms, Poseidon did not hesitate to claim the sea. The ocean was not conquered, but chosen, a bond older than memory, deeper than fate. The trident was placed in his hand, shining like lightning forged into the shape of water. It was not a weapon of war, but a symbol of rule, of harmony, of endless flow. With it, he guided tides, shaped currents, and wove storms into patterns of renewal. The trident marked him not as destroyer, but as guardian of oceans unmeasured. His rule was not built on walls or armies, but on trust between waves and the unseen depths. Every creature beneath the surface bowed not from fear, but from shared rhythm of life. Poseidon's birth was not the start of war, but the dawn of stewardship of the sea. He was the voice of storms, the calm after thunder, and the stillness before the tide. His throne rose not in the sky, but beneath waves, where coral and pearl shone like stars. The kingdom of the ocean welcomed him, a realm without borders, eternal in its breath. Poseidon's birth story is not of conquest, but of belonging, the sea embracing its king. He was a god, yet also a student of the ocean, learning the secrets hidden in silence. The waves shaped him into a guardian, not by force, but by wisdom of eternal flow. He grew as the ocean grew, changing yet unchanging, vast yet near to every shore. Poseidon's legacy began not with thunder, but with the quiet promise of the sea. A promise that the waters would always remember him, as long as tides touched the land. This is the first chapter of his eternal journey, the birth of the Ocean King. Beneath the rolling waves, far beyond the reach of mortal sight, lies a kingdom of shimmering wonder. This is the realm of Poseidon, built not by human hands, but by the eternal artistry of the sea. Its walls are coral grown like forests, glowing in hues of crimson, gold, and sapphire light. Pearls shine like stars upon the floor, scattered treasures born from patience and time. Arches of shell and stone rise high, carved by currents, polished by centuries of tides. The palace breathes with the ocean itself, every hall alive with whispers of flowing water. Fish dart like sparks of light, weaving through columns shaped by the sea's embrace. Seaweed sways like banners in the deep, carrying the rhythm of unseen currents. At the heart of this realm stands Poseidon's throne, not of steel or marble, but living coral. It glows with a soft radiance, shaped by nature, crowned with shells and silver foam. From here, the Ocean King watches over his boundless domain with steady gaze. Around him gather the creatures of the sea, not as servants, but as companions in harmony. Dolphins leap near the gates, their joy echoing like laughter through the halls. Turtles glide in quiet dignity, carrying wisdom older than the rise of mortal cities. Whales sing hymns that tremble through the walls, deep voices honoring their eternal king. Even the smallest fish play their part, weaving light and motion into the life of the palace. The kingdom itself shifts with the tides, never still, always changing, always alive. Unlike mortal cities, it has no walls to defend, no chains to bind, only freedom in motion. The ocean is both palace and protector, infinite in reach, eternal in strength. Poseidon's realm is not a fortress, but a sanctuary, a place of balance and endless renewal. Here, beauty is not crafted for display, but born from the patience of the sea. Every pearl, every coral, every shimmer of scale tells the story of time unbroken. Visitors from the surface speak of this kingdom in awe, though few have glimpsed its heart. They describe towers of crystal, streets of glowing sand, and gardens of light. Legends whisper of gates guarded by seahorses, radiant and swift as lightning in water. Some say merfolk wander its halls, voices like songs that soothe the restless waves. But above all, it is Poseidon's presence that fills the palace with power and calm. His gaze holds the weight of storms, yet his voice carries the peace of a gentle tide. He does not rule by command alone, but by harmony with the eternal ocean around him. The kingdom mirrors his spirit, vast, deep, ever-flowing, yet touched by quiet grace. To stand within its halls is to feel the heartbeat of the sea itself. It is not silence, but symphony, the chorus of waves, currents, and living breath. Every creature here belongs, from the greatest whale to the smallest flicker of light. Together, they form a realm beyond measure, where time bends to the rhythm of tides. And in this ever-shifting kingdom, Poseidon sits eternal, guardian of the sea's mysteries. His palace is not merely a dwelling, but a reflection of the ocean's soul. A reminder that beneath the waves lies a world as infinite as the stars above. This is the kingdom beneath the waves, the eternal home of the Ocean King. The ocean breathes in silence, its rhythm unbroken, its pulse eternal across the face of the world. Poseidon is the keeper of this rhythm, guiding the tides as gently as a hand guides a child. The tides are not mere waters rising and falling, but the heartbeat of the sea itself. Each wave carries the breath of the earth, moving with quiet power beneath the moon. The moon and sea dance together, their bond ancient, their embrace endless. Poseidon listens to this music, hearing balance where mortals hear only water. The ebb and flow are not accidents, but sacred patterns woven by the Ocean King. When the tide retreats, it gathers strength, like lungs filling with air before release. When the tide returns, it blesses the shores, leaving life, shells, and whispers behind. The people of the coasts have long watched this miracle, their lives tied to the rhythm. Fishermen trust the morning tide to carry their boats, a pact unspoken with the sea. Children build castles of sand, knowing the evening tide will reclaim them with grace. The ocean does not take. It exchanges, giving and receiving in eternal motion. Poseidon ensures that the cycle never breaks, for balance is his gift to the world. Without tides, the sea would be still, lifeless, empty of breath. With tides, the sea is alive, ever changing, forever moving toward renewal. The rhythm of the tides is not force, but harmony, a lesson whispered in water. Sailors once knelt before Poseidon, asking not for calm seas, but for fair rhythm. They knew storms pass, but tides remain, steady as the heartbeat of creation. The Ocean King was not feared but trusted, for his hand kept the waters true. He was the bridge between earth and sea, between moonlight and the deep. At dawn, tides rise with the promise of life, washing shores with gifts unseen. At dusk, they fall away, carrying stories back into the endless blue. Poseidon's trident does not strike, but guides, pointing the waters toward their path. The waves bend not from force, but from love, responding to his eternal call. In temples by the shore, priests once sang hymns to the tide, voices rising like waves. Their songs were not prayers of fear, but gratitude for the gift of renewal. The ocean answered with rhythm, never failing, never forgetting its promise. Each tide is a reminder that life too moves in cycles of ebb and return. There is loss, but there is also renewal, as constant as the pull of the sea. Poseidon himself embodies this truth, both storm and calm, retreat and return. He is the teacher of patience, showing that even the sea waits for its moment. The tides are his language, spoken to the world in waves that never cease. Those who listen learn that strength is not in stillness, but in motion eternal. The ocean is alive because Poseidon breathes through it, in harmony with moon and earth. He does not command the tides as a ruler commands an army, but as a shepherd guides a flock. Each tide follows him willingly, for he is not master but guardian of the flow. To watch the tide is to see the Ocean King himself, moving unseen yet always present. The world turns, the moon shifts, and the tides answer, eternal as Poseidon's reign. So long as waves touch the shore, his rhythm will echo across the ages. The tides are his legacy, the living proof of his eternal guardianship of the sea. Close your eyes and listen to the sound of the ocean. The waves rise, fall, and whisper ancient secrets. They carry voices older than mountains, older than time. Among these voices is the story of Poseidon. He is not only a god of storms and salt water, he is the eternal keeper of balance beneath the sea. Legends say his crown is woven of coral and pearls, yet his true power lies in harmony, not in might. When dolphins leap, their joy sings his name. When whales call, their song praises his throne. The tides are his breath, steady and endless. Every ripple is a message carried across worlds. Sailors once prayed to him under starry skies. Children dreamed of his palaces made of light. Even today, his presence is felt in every shore. For the ocean is timeless, and so is he. This is not a tale of battle or conquest. It is a story of rhythm, of cycles, of eternity. Tonight, we journey into his vast kingdom. Come closer. Let the waves guide your heart. The eternal Ocean King awaits, and his story begins. The ocean speaks before words are spoken. Its breath is steady, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. At dawn, the waves shimmer with golden fire, soft and endless. At night, the tides glow silver, guided by the patient moon. These are not simple waters, not ordinary streams of blue. They are the oldest storytellers, carrying secrets across ages. Every ripple is a voice, every current a thread of memory. Together, they weave a song of eternity, sung without end. If you listen carefully, you can hear the whispers. They drift through seashells, through caverns, through coral walls. They speak of a guardian who has no beginning or end. They call him Poseidon, the eternal king of the ocean. Not a king in the way of mortal crowns or thrones. He wears no armor, raises no blade, and conquers no land. Instead, his kingdom is shaped by silence and song. The waves are his choir, the tides his gentle breath. The story begins not with a storm, but with calm. It begins with a whisper, a name carried by dolphins. They leap into the sun, scattering diamonds of water. Each drop glitters with the memory of his presence. Whales sing from the depths, their notes rising like prayers. They do not sing of war, but of belonging. For in his ocean, every creature has a place. Every current is guided by his unseen hand. Imagine the sea before ships and sails existed. Imagine a time when the horizon was endless mystery. Fishermen sat by the shore, listening to the rhythm. They did not yet know his face, but they felt him. The tide's pull was his hand, soft but certain. The salt wind was his voice, ancient and unbroken. The waves were his footsteps, pacing along eternity. And when the storms came, they too carried his mark. But do not mistake storms for fury or destruction. They are not punishments, nor cruel tempests without reason. They are the sea's exhale, the cleansing breath of life. After every storm, a stillness spreads like blessing. The waters shine anew, bright as polished glass. Fishermen step back onto the sand, unafraid and grateful. They know the storm has taken nothing they cannot bear. They know the calm after is his true gift. The whispers tell of a crown not forged of gold. It is made of coral, living and radiant with color. It shifts, grows, and blooms with the rhythm of the sea. Pearls gleam like stars within its branches of light. It is not heavy, nor meant to rule with force. It is a crown of harmony, worn without pride. For Poseidon rules not as master, but as steward. The ocean does not belong to him. He belongs to it. Every shore kissed by water feels his presence. Every shell washed ashore carries a piece of his song. Even the smallest stream, far from the sea's edge, remembers him. It flows, it bends, it yearns to return to his embrace. The rivers are his messengers, carrying life to the world. The rains are his blessings, falling gently from sky to earth. Every drop returns, in time, to the great eternal sea. And every drop whispers the same eternal name, Poseidon. So when you listen to the waves tonight, listen closer. Do not hear only the crash, but the rhythm beneath. Do not hear only water, but the song inside water. It is the story of beginnings, endings, and endless return. It is the voice of the eternal ocean king, and in his voice lies the memory of all creation. Not in violence, not in conquest, but in harmony. For as long as oceans breathe, his story will be told. In the beginning, before the seas took shape, silence ruled. The earth was young, and the sky trembled with first light. Rivers had not yet carved their paths, nor mountains risen high. But beneath all things, a hidden heartbeat stirred, waiting. From that heartbeat came the children of eternity. Among them was Poseidon, born with the breath of water. He was not yet the king of oceans, only a spark, a soul tied to the vastness of the deep unseen. The world was divided among his divine kin. To one, the heavens stretched with endless stars. To another, the solid ground held mountains and roots. And to Poseidon, the sea opened its arms in welcome. The ocean was not yet calm, nor shaped with rhythm. It roared like a wild creature, untamed and restless. Waves struck against themselves, chasing shadows without end. Currents tangled like threads in a storm of beginnings. Poseidon stepped into these waters with gentle certainty. He did not fight the chaos, nor fear its depth. Instead, he listened to its restless, eternal song. He let the water guide him, flowing where it led. And slowly, the sea began to change around him. The waves bent toward him, like children toward a father. The storms quieted, resting in his steady presence. The tides found their rhythm, steady as his breath. He learned the language of water, silent yet endless. Every droplet carried a secret, every wave a story. Poseidon became not its master, but its keeper. He promised never to break its eternal harmony. The sea crowned him not with jewels or steel. Its crown was light on foam, shimmer on coral. Its throne was a cavern lit by glowing shells. Its scepter was the rhythm of tides, unbroken. He walked among creatures no mortal eye has seen. Giant turtles, older than mountains, swam beside him. Silver fish swirled in spirals, painting light in water. Whales lifted songs that echoed across the newborn seas. Poseidon listened, and he understood each voice. The call of dolphins was laughter, pure and clear. The hush of seagrass was a hymn of peace. The hum of currents was a promise of return. In this way, his bond with the sea was sealed, not by conquest, but by trust and belonging. Not by rule, but by harmony and care. The ocean became him, and he became the ocean. Yet the world beyond the waves was never far. Shores reached out, waiting for his gentle touch. Clouds above gathered, ready to carry his blessing. Rivers below stirred, eager to meet their source. Poseidon raised his hand, and rain began to fall. It kissed the earth softly, blessing valleys and hills. It carried the taste of salt, a memory of origin. And thus, water's eternal cycle began its dance. Mortals would come to know him by many names. To sailors, he was the guide through fog and tide. To farmers, he was the giver of gentle rain. To dreamers, he was the mystery beneath the waves. But within the heart of the ocean, he was simply home. The sea no longer roared in chaos without end. It breathed, it moved, it sang in quiet rhythm. Because Poseidon was there, eternal and unbroken. So when you see the tide reach for the shore, remember. When you hear rain tapping on your window, remember. When rivers run to join the great sea, remember. The birth of a ruler was also the birth of balance. Poseidon was not only born of the sea, he became the sea, its voice, its guardian. And in his beginning, the ocean found its calm. The eternal king was crowned by water's embrace. The sea had found its calm, but a king was yet unnamed. The ocean shimmered, vast and endless, waiting for its crown. It was not a crown of conquest, nor one forged in fire. It was a gift born of trust, a bond between soul and tide. Poseidon walked the coral paths beneath the water's glow. His steps left no mark, but the sea bent toward him. The dolphins danced around his presence with unspoken joy. The turtles followed with steady grace, guardians of old time. In hidden caves, the corals began to bloom like fire. Their colors blazed brighter when he passed among them. Each branch of coral stretched toward him, weaving together. They formed a circle, living, breathing, radiant with light. From their branches grew pearls, glowing like distant stars. They pulsed softly, as if they held the breath of eternity. No blacksmith's hand touched them, no hammer forged their shape. They were born of the sea itself, pure and unbroken. Poseidon bowed his head as the crown took form. The ocean wrapped him in silence, deeper than words. He felt its pulse beat through his chest like a hymn. In that moment, king and sea became one breath. The creatures of the deep gathered as witnesses to the rite. Whales sang low songs that rumbled across endless waters. Fish moved as one, weaving patterns of light in circles. The currents bent in spirals, lifting the crown of coral. It did not rest heavy, nor weigh him with burden. It settled like foam, light as a promise of dawn. Its glow spread through the waters, touching every creature. Each felt the harmony of their ruler's quiet strength. Above, the sky mirrored the ocean's sacred moment. Clouds parted, and the stars gazed into the sea. The moon cast silver beams that kissed Poseidon's crown. The world above bowed silently to the kingdom below. This was the ocean's crown, not a symbol of might. It did not command fear nor demand obedience. It was the sign of balance, a circle unbroken. It marked Poseidon as steward, guardian, and eternal friend. He lifted his gaze, and the tides answered him gently. They rose and fell in rhythm, like breath across the shore. No storm raged, no thunder shook the horizon that night. Only peace spread across waters, endless and calm. For the first time, mortals felt his blessing clearly. Sailors found safe passage guided by the stars above. Villages by the shore received rains soft and kind. Children awoke to the lullaby of waves untroubled. They did not see his face, but they felt his presence. They spoke his name in whispers, carried by the wind. They left shells by the shore as tokens of thanks, and in return, the tide carried their prayers back home. Poseidon wore the crown not for glory, but for promise. A promise to keep the sea alive and unbroken. A vow to guide its endless tides with gentle hand. A pledge to stand eternal as long as waters breathe. The crown was not the end of his story. It was the beginning of a bond without end. The ocean had chosen its guardian, its eternal king. And the king had chosen to serve, not to rule. So when waves curl softly against the sand, remember. When coral glows beneath the water, remember. When pearls shine with gentle light, remember. The crown of the ocean was never gold, but harmony. And in its glow, Poseidon found his true throne, a throne of water, of rhythm, of eternal breath. The ocean's crown was his gift, his burden, his song. And through it, the sea and king became one. The ocean is never silent, for it is a living symphony. Each note is carried by waves, each chord woven by tides. Poseidon, crowned by coral light, became its conductor. Not with a hand raised in command, but with harmony. The dolphins were the laughter of the melody, bright and clear. They leapt from the sea like sparks of joy made flesh. Every splash became a drumbeat echoing against the horizon. Their voices sang in trills that stitched sunlight to water. The whales brought the bass, deep and endless in tone. Their songs rolled like thunder beneath the calm of waves. Each call lingered, holding the weight of ages remembered. Their voices were the foundation of the ocean's eternal hymn. Schools of fish shimmered like silver strings in motion. They darted together, weaving patterns of living rhythm. Every shift of their bodies played a fleeting chord. They turned the water into a harp of endless sound. Even the smallest voices joined the growing chorus. The hum of seagrass swayed like soft violin strokes. The hush of shells, pressed to the ear, whispered softly. Each bubble that rose carried a gentle, high note. Poseidon did not force their song. He nurtured it. He listened to the rhythm of each creature's heart. He wove their sounds into balance, into flowing unity. In this, he was not ruler, but musician of tides. Above the surface, the sky mirrored the music below. Winds carried the sea's tune across distant horizons. Clouds swayed in slow rhythm, casting shadows like dancers. Even the stars seemed to twinkle in gentle response. Mortals near the shore felt this symphony in silence. Fishermen casting nets moved with the rhythm of waves. Children laughed in play, echoing dolphins they had never seen. Sailors hummed unknowingly, keeping time with the ocean's beat. Every element of earth seemed touched by this harmony. Rivers flowed in sync, like flutes guiding water home. Rain fell in percussion, tapping windows with gentle fingers. Thunder rolled not in anger, but in deep, steady rhythm. The symphony did more than charm, it united the sea. Creatures once scattered found belonging in the great song. Currents no longer clashed, but wove together in dance. The sea breathed as one, with Poseidon at its heart. There were moments of silence, too, soft and sacred. In those pauses, the ocean drew breath like prayer. The stillness was not emptiness, but space for renewal. And then the next note would rise, brighter than before. Poseidon knew this song was eternal, without end. It would outlast mountains, skies, and the memory of men. For as long as water flowed, the music would live. And as long as it lived, so too would he. When storms came, they became part of the symphony. Lightning cracked like cymbals, sharp and radiant in tone. Winds howled like brass horns, powerful, yet never cruel. Even the storm bowed to rhythm, never breaking the song. And when calm returned, it was like a gentle refrain, a quiet echo reminding all of balance restored again. The sea glowed with peace, cradled in Poseidon's care. Its music whispered to shores and skies alike, harmony. So if you stand by the ocean and close your eyes, listen. Hear the rhythm of tides, the laughter of dolphins afar. Hear the song of whales carried through endless depths. It is the eternal symphony, conducted by the Ocean King. And in every note, there is memory, balance, and truth. For Poseidon's crown is not of power, but of music. The sea does not only move, it sings forever. And its eternal song is the gift of the king. Beneath the shimmering waves, Poseidon's kingdom stretched wide. It was not built of stone or marble, but of life itself. Every creature was a citizen, every current a trusted ally. Together, they formed the living guard of the eternal king. The dolphins were his messengers, swift and joyful in duty. They carried songs across distances, warning or blessing as needed. Their leaps across the horizon signaled safe passage for sailors. Their laughter was the sea's reminder of hope and play. The sea turtles were the keepers of memory, slow and wise. Their shells bore markings like maps of ancient time. They guided lost travelers to shore with patient calm. Their presence was a sign of endurance and eternal peace. The whales served as heralds, their voices echoing across oceans. Their songs called the tides, steady as the heartbeat of water. They warned of storms long before clouds gathered above. Their wisdom kept balance between silence and the rising song. Schools of fish shimmered as guards of light and shadow. Together they formed living walls, protecting reefs and caverns. Their movements confused predators and shielded fragile gardens. They proved that unity, not strength alone, was power. Even the smallest creatures held their sacred roles. The crabs tended the sand, keeping shores in gentle order. The seahorses watched over coral nurseries, guardians of new life. The starfish lay still, but healed wounds of the ocean floor. Poseidon watched these guardians with care and pride. He did not command them as a tyrant of armies. Instead, he listened and entrusted them with sacred tasks. Their loyalty was born of trust, not fear or force. Mortals who sailed the seas sensed this unseen watch. They told stories of dolphins guiding their drifting boats. They spoke of turtles leading them through fog and storm. They sang of whales whose voices kept them from despair. In every tale, the guardians were not threats, but gifts. They were reminders that the sea was alive with care, that even in its vastness, it was never empty or cold. It was a kingdom of protection, woven by Poseidon's hand. The reefs themselves stood as silent sentinels of beauty. Corals glowed like lanterns, lighting the paths of the deep. Each branch was a fortress, a shelter for the small. Together, they formed cities of color, safe beneath the waves. Poseidon's guardians did more than protect, they inspired awe. Mortals carved them into myths, painted them in temples. Sailors wore charms shaped like dolphins for safe journeys. Children whispered prayers to turtles before their first voyage. These stories grew, but the truth was simpler and deeper. The guardians were not symbols of power or fear. They were family, bound to Poseidon and to one another. The ocean thrived because every voice was honored and heard. When storms rose, the guardians did not scatter in panic. The whales sang deeper, guiding smaller creatures to shelter. The dolphins leapt ahead, warning of currents and rocks. The turtles anchored the reefs, steadying the trembling sands. And when calm returned, they resumed their sacred rhythm. Each went back to their role with quiet devotion. They asked for nothing but the life of the sea. They gave everything to keep its harmony whole. Poseidon himself stood among them as both ruler and kin. He spoke not with commands, but with silent gratitude. His crown glowed brighter in their presence, alive with light. His heart beat in time with their endless devotion. So when you watch the sea and glimpse a dolphin leap, remember. When you hear the call of a whale carried on wind, remember. When you see a turtle glide with patient grace, remember. They are not just creatures. They are the guardians of the king. And in their duty, Poseidon's promise is kept eternal. A promise of care, of protection, of endless balance. The ocean is vast, but never empty or forgotten. For the eternal king is never alone. His guardians surround him. Far below the crashing waves, light bends into silence. The sea grows darker, cooler, more mysterious with each depth. Here, Poseidon's realm extends into caverns few mortals imagine. It is the deep sea, the heart of hidden wonder. In this place, sunlight is a stranger, barely touching the floor. Yet life glows with its own lanterns, stars beneath the water. Jellyfish drift slowly, their bodies pulsing with radiant light. They are dancers of the abyss, painting darkness with fire. Poseidon moves among them, unseen but always felt. His presence keeps balance even in this endless twilight. The creatures here are delicate, fragile, yet enduring. They remind him that strength often hides in silence. The anglerfish carries a small lantern upon its brow. It waits in stillness, its glow guiding lost wanderers. Though often feared in story, here it is a guardian. Its light is part of the deep ocean's quiet chorus. Octopuses curl in coral caves, masters of clever disguise. Their colors shift like flowing ink, blending with shadows. They are thinkers of the deep, curious and watchful. Their intelligence adds wisdom to the kingdom's heart. Shrimp snap with sparks, releasing flashes in the dark. Their crackling rhythm becomes percussion for the abyss. Even silence is never empty in these hidden realms. Every beat, every spark, is part of Poseidon's song. Here the whales' songs grow deeper, carrying to the core. They echo through canyons carved in stone by time. The sound becomes the pulse of the deep sea. A reminder that connection binds even the farthest reaches. Poseidon knows mortals rarely see this secret realm. Few dare descend to such crushing, endless depths. Yet he treasures it as much as sunlit waters. For in shadow, beauty thrives with quiet resilience. Legends whisper that Poseidon's throne rests here, unseen. Not a throne of gold, but of polished stone and pearl. Its surface gleams with markings etched by tides themselves. It is a seat of stillness, a center of balance. The creatures of the deep guard it, not with fear. They circle gently, glowing in slow patterns of trust. Their presence alone is protection enough for the king, for they know his heart beats with theirs in silence. Mortals dream of this realm without knowing its truth. They imagine monsters in shadows, dangers in the dark. But in truth, the deep sea is not cruel or harsh. It is sacred, tender, a place of hidden grace. Every flicker of light is a story unspoken. Every silent drift of a creature is a prayer. Together they form a cathedral of living stars. The deep sea is a temple, and Poseidon its keeper. He listens here more than he speaks or commands. For in silence lies wisdom older than the waves. The ocean's heartbeat is clearest in these still depths. Its rhythm is steady, patient, eternal, unbroken. And when storms rage far above the surface world, the deep sea holds steady, calm in its silence. Its creatures glow softly, unaware of chaos above. Here Poseidon draws peace and renews his eternal strength. So if you stand upon a shore at night and wonder, remember that below the black water, stars still shine. They are not in the sky, but drifting in the sea. Their light whispers the deep ocean's secret to the king. For in darkness, Poseidon finds his truest kingdom. A kingdom of silence, of wisdom, of hidden fire. And in its quiet glow, eternity hums without end. The eternal ocean king reigns deepest where shadows live. The sea does not only hold water, it holds memory. Every tide is a storyteller, carrying whispers of the past. Poseidon listens, for memory is the anchor of eternity. And no memory is older than the rise of the land. Long ago, before mortals shaped cities and sails, there was silence. The ocean covered most of the world, endless and deep. From its embrace rose the first islands, small and trembling. Poseidon watched with care, for he knew balance had begun. The mountains grew, lifting their heads to greet the sky. Rivers carved valleys, flowing as silver threads to the sea. Forests awakened, their roots stretching toward salty shores. Life found a way to breathe beyond the water's cradle. Poseidon did not resist this change, though the sea lessened. He smiled, for creation was not loss, but transformation. The ocean remained vast, but the land offered new harmony. Together, they formed a world of balance, sky to stone. The creatures of the deep watched this unfolding in awe. Birds lifted from the waves, carrying songs into air. Turtles crawled ashore, leaving trails like prayers in sand. Even whales swam close to beaches, curious of the change. Mortals were still far away, not yet born of clay. But Poseidon sensed their coming in the rhythm of time. He knew they would one day walk the land and sail. He prepared his sea to guide them with wisdom, not wrath. The first storms began, born from clash of sea and sky. Thunder rolled, rain fell, and lightning cut the horizon. Yet Poseidon saw not chaos, but the start of rhythm. For storm and calm together shaped the eternal balance. From the spray of waves, new legends began to stir. Corals bloomed brighter, as if celebrating the new land. Dolphins leapt higher, bridging water and rising air. Even the stars above seemed to shine with approval. The ocean sang, not with sorrow, but with hope. It welcomed mountains, rivers, valleys, and forested shores. Every element found its voice in the grand chorus. Poseidon stood in the center, keeper of their unity. Legends say he placed pearls upon the new beaches. They shone as gifts, reminders of the sea's endless heart. Mortals later found them, treasures from the ocean's soul. They carried whispers of tides, even on dry land. The deep sea did not vanish with the rising earth. Its mysteries remained, hidden beneath shifting waves. But now there was also beauty above the surface. The world grew layered, and Poseidon embraced it fully. The memory of this birth is still within the tide. Each wave that breaks upon rock recalls the first meeting. Water greets stone, stone greets water, again and again. Balance is renewed every moment, eternal and patient. Poseidon never forgets. For forgetting breaks harmony. He teaches through rhythm, not through words or books. The sea is his scroll, written in foam and current. The land is his partner, strong, steady, and enduring. So when mortals climb mountains or wander forest trails, they are walking on memories the ocean gave them. When they hear waves crash against cliffs in the night, they are hearing the ancient story of first creation. Poseidon's memory is not his alone. It belongs to all. It flows in rivers, whispers in rainfall, and sings in waves. It tells mortals they are children of both land and sea. And in remembering, they remain part of his eternal song. For the ocean is more than water, it is living history. And Poseidon is more than king. He is keeper of time. Through memory, the world holds its balance unbroken. Through memory, the eternal ocean king reigns forever. The sea has many faces, and one is the calm shore. Here the ocean and land touch, hands with gentle care. Poseidon walks unseen along beaches, his steps leaving no trace. Yet his presence is felt in every whisper of the tide. The shore is a bridge, a meeting place of worlds. Mortals come here to wonder, to rest, to dream. They do not see the king, but they feel his spirit. For the shore is his gift, a space of harmony. Children build castles of sand, towers kissed by waves. Each grain of sand holds a story older than empires. Poseidon watches, smiling at their joy and innocence. He knows the ocean's memory lies in their tiny hands. Fishermen mend their nets under the morning sun. They listen to gulls calling and waves breathing in rhythm. Without knowing, they follow the guidance of the tides. Poseidon is their silent companion, steady and faithful. Lovers walk hand in hand where water meets the land. The ocean sings softly, a song of eternal embrace. Its rhythm mirrors their hearts, beating steady together. Poseidon blesses them with whispers of timeless devotion. The shore is also a healer, soothing the restless soul. Waves erase footprints, teaching the art of release. Shells are left behind, gifts from the deep unseen. Each one carries the music of tides in its curve. Birds circle above, guardians of both sky and sea. Their calls stitch together heaven and water in melody. They remind mortals that no boundary is ever final. All things flow, all things belong to the greater whole. Poseidon's guardians often visit this place of meeting. Dolphins leap close to shore, delighting watching eyes. Turtles climb softly, laying eggs beneath the moonlight. Even the smallest crab scuttles with sacred purpose. At dawn, the horizon glows with new promise. The sun greets the ocean with golden fingers of fire. Poseidon lifts his gaze, welcoming the day with calm. The cycle continues, endless, steady, eternal. At dusk, the sea glows silver under the moon. Stars scatter above, mirrored by sparks on the water. The waves grow quieter, as if speaking in whispers. Night becomes a lullaby sung by the eternal king. Mortals often find answers on the shore without asking. Some come with sorrow and leave with lighter hearts. Some bring questions and hear silence filled with wisdom. For the sea teaches without words, only through rhythm. The shore also holds mystery, for it is ever-changing. No wave is the same, no grain of sand repeats. Poseidon delights in this eternal play of transformation. It is proof that nothing is lost, only renewed. Legends tell that Poseidon sometimes rises at twilight. He is seen as a figure of light walking the waves, not to rule but to remind mortals of wonder, not to command but to bless with gentle presence. The shore is his altar, open to all who seek. No temple is greater than the meeting of tide and land. Here prayers are whispered without need for words. Here the eternal king listens in silence and love. So when you stand barefoot upon the sand, remember, the tide that touches your toes is Poseidon's greeting. The wind that lifts your hair is his eternal breath, and the horizon is his promise of balance forever. For the shore is not just earth or sea. It is the union of worlds, the gift of the king. In every wave that breaks, there is eternity, and in every grain of sand, the ocean's memory lives. The ocean is not only vast, but filled with hidden paths. Beneath the waves lies a world unknown to mortal eyes. Poseidon is master of these depths, a silent guardian. Here, mysteries unfold where light fades into eternal blue. The surface shimmers like glass, but below is another realm. Caves stretch like cathedrals carved by the hand of time. Coral gardens glow in colors no mortal brush could paint. Schools of fish move as one, a living symphony of motion. Poseidon walks these halls of water as a king at home. Every current bends toward him, every tide sings his name. The deep sea is his throne room, vast and unmeasured. And yet, it is not a place of fear, but of wonder. There are trenches that descend beyond mortal imagining. Dark and quiet, yet alive with unseen life and mystery. Poseidon knows each shadow, each secret whispered there. For even the silence of the deep is part of his song. Legends say treasures rest within the hidden depths. Not gold or jewels, but wisdom older than time itself. Ancient, shells that echo with voices of vanished ages. Pearls that hold reflections of worlds long forgotten. Creatures of the deep move with grace beyond sight. Giant rays glide like wings of night beneath the waves. Whales sing with voices that travel across oceans wide. Even the smallest shrimp has a rhythm in the grand chorus. Poseidon teaches through the deep that not all is seen. Much lies hidden, waiting for patience to reveal truth. The deep reminds mortals that mystery is not danger. It is invitation, a call to respect the unknown. When mortals first sailed upon wooden ships of hope, they feared the deep as a place of monsters untold. But Poseidon did not send beasts, only lessons of awe. Storms came to test, not to destroy, but to teach balance. In the silence of the deep, time moves differently. A single current may circle the globe for centuries. Poseidon feels each flow as a heartbeat of eternity. It reminds him that the sea is both ancient and new. Some stories tell of lost cities beneath the sea, Atlantean towers swallowed by waves, still glowing faintly. Poseidon walks among them, not in sorrow, but in memory. For what is lost is never gone, only changed in form. The deep sea is also a place of dreams and visions. Mortals who sleep by the shore may hear its call. They see endless halls of light, mirrors of the abyss. These are Poseidon's gifts, fragments of his eternal mind. At night, when stars shine above, the deep reflects them. It is as though the sky has fallen into the water. Poseidon looks both above and below, holding balance. He sees the heavens in the sea and the sea in the heavens. The deep is endless, yet it is not empty. It is full of memory, life, and eternal becoming. It is Poseidon's heart, quiet yet powerful, vast yet tender. It beats in rhythm with the cosmos, steady and sure. So when mortals gaze at the horizon and wonder, they should know there is more than eyes can perceive. The sea is not only what is seen, but what is hidden. And the hidden is where Poseidon's true kingdom lies. The deep invites not fear, but reverence and humility. It teaches patience, respect, and the beauty of mystery. For Poseidon, the eternal ocean king, dwells within it. And through the deep, his eternal reign endures forever. The ocean is not only water and depth, but also sound. Every wave carries a voice. Every ripple tells a story. Poseidon, the eternal king, listens to this endless symphony. For in the sea, music is the breath of existence. The first song ever sung came not from mortals, but from tides. It rose when the moon first kissed the ocean's surface. A soft hum grew into rhythm, a pulse echoing eternity. And Poseidon shaped it into harmony, gift of the sea. Whales sing deep notes that travel far beyond sight. Their voices bind waters together, stitching oceans into one. Each song carries memory of ancestors, long journeys, love. Poseidon treasures them as prayers rising from the abyss. Dolphins bring laughter to the ocean's music of life. Their playful clicks and whistles are sparks of pure joy. They remind all who listen that the sea is alive. And Poseidon smiles, for joy is sacred to him. The waves themselves compose endless verses of rhythm. They crash, retreat, and return, never repeating the same song. Mortals hear them at night and feel comfort within. For Poseidon speaks through waves, his eternal lullaby. Seashells hold hidden music, waiting for ears to listen. Placed against the ear, they echo the ocean's breath. Mortals think it only wind, but it is Poseidon's voice, a reminder that the sea is always near, always alive. The wind across the waves adds another sacred note. It howls, whispers, and sighs, weaving with the tides. This is the chorus of the horizon, a hymn of unity. Poseidon directs it gently, never commanding, always guiding. At dawn, music shifts into rising crescendos of light. Birds call above waves, greeting the sea with praise. The tide rolls steady, blending earth and sky in song. Poseidon blesses the new day with harmony of renewal. At dusk, the sea sings in softer, deeper tones. The horizon glows with fading fire, mirrored by waves. Mortals hear calm in this rhythm, a promise of rest. And Poseidon keeps vigil, ensuring balance remains intact. Legends tell of harps strung with seaweed in caverns. When currents move, they play songs of hidden beauty. Mortals who hear them dream of stars and endless skies. Poseidon protects these sacred places, temples of sound. Sometimes, during still nights, the ocean falls silent. It is not emptiness, but a pause, a sacred breath. Poseidon listens then, waiting for the world to respond. Silence itself becomes part of the eternal composition. The music of the sea teaches mortals many truths. That life flows in rhythm, never still, never broken. That harmony comes not from control, but from balance. That even silence carries wisdom, if hearts remain open. Mortals create songs inspired by the ocean's voice. Drums beat like waves, flutes cry like gulls above. They do not know they echo Poseidon's ancient music. Yet he hears and smiles, for they join his eternal choir. The sea is not chaos, but a living orchestra. Each creature, wave, current, and breeze plays a role. No note is wasted, no rhythm without meaning or place. And Poseidon is the conductor, unseen but ever present. So when mortals sit by the shore and listen quietly, they may hear more than sound, they may hear truth. For every song of the ocean is a lesson of harmony. And in every note, Poseidon's eternal heart is revealed. Thus, the music of the sea is endless, ever flowing. It binds the world together with invisible, gentle threads. And Poseidon, king of the ocean, keeps it forever alive. For the song of the sea is the song of eternity. The sea is endless, yet every story must find its close. And so we return to Poseidon, the eternal ocean king. His tale is not of battles or crowns, but of balance. He reigns not through force, but through harmony unbroken. The waves that began his story still roll to the shore. Each one carries the memory of creation and time. Mortals stand at the edge of water and listen in silence. For in the sound of the tide, his voice is eternal. Poseidon is not a figure of distant myth alone. He is in the salt on your lips from sea breeze. He is in the rhythm of tides pulling moon to earth. He is in every heartbeat that follows life's ocean flow. The eternal king does not seek temples of stone. His sanctuary is the shore, the reef, the endless horizon. Every shell, every pearl, every ripple is part of his altar. Mortals who walk the beach step upon sacred ground. He teaches not by command, but by rhythm and cycle. The rising and falling tide is his lesson of patience. The calm after storm is his teaching of renewal. The vast horizon is his promise of infinite possibility. When mortals cast their nets, he offers them guidance. When sailors lose sight of land, he steadies their course. When children laugh in waves, he blesses their joy. And when lovers meet the shore, he crowns their bond. His kingdom is not measured by borders or armies. It stretches from shallow tide pools to darkest trenches. It rises with the moon and sleeps with the stars. It is as endless as time, as steady as breath. The legends say he will reign for all eternity. For no crown of gold can outlast the ocean's song. No throne of stone is stronger than the moving tide. Poseidon's power is balance, and balance never dies. Even when mortals forget his name in stories, they remember him in the sound of the breaking wave. They hear him in the hush of rain on the sea. They feel him in the pull of tides against the shore. And so the eternal king remains, unseen yet present. He walks with every sailor, every dreamer, every child. His kingdom is open to all, not sealed with gates. For the ocean welcomes without question, without end. At dawn, his voice rises with the first golden light. At dusk, he whispers in silver beneath the moon. Through every hour, his rhythm continues unbroken. A song of eternity, sung across endless waters. The story of Poseidon is not a tale of endings. It is a reminder that endings are but new beginnings. Each wave that retreats will always return again. Each tide that falls will always rise once more. So listen when you walk by the shore at night. The wind that brushes your cheek is his eternal breath. The horizon stretching before you is his infinite gaze, and the ocean's pulse is his heartbeat within the world. For Poseidon is not gone, nor will he ever fade. He reigns in silence, in song, in storm, in calm. He is the memory of water and the promise of life. He is the eternal ocean king, forever and always.